Alright, so that will be basically showing my mouse sensitivity getting set. I'm going to basically show my mouse sensitivity getting set with this game, which is super cool. The layout's definitely there. I've played it in beta before on Exterminatus, you can see that. I haven't played it on other difficulties because I just figure why not start with the hardest thing you can do. And turns out, so I'm going to start with the first level because, like, I'm pretty sure I remember the design being for sure awesome. Some of these others become giant donuts stacked on donuts. And then it's like, oh, remember which one of those has the route out. It's like, this is a way to do it. Alright, here we go. Click. And anything else? Yeah, I can already feel the mouse is over traveling a little bit. Since I'll be talking and it's not really so much of a... Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. So, how to start off with something very, very clearly not... Okay. So, start with the finest movements that you can essentially get in control with. Like these little pyramids so you can more or less find an escape. So I'm recognizing these are entirely without moving my wrist and my forearm being braced against the desk. The only thing I'm doing is extending and closing my fingers from my thumb pads to my other fingers, and my pinkies hanging off the mouse, but it's pressed against my ring finger. So from here, I'm going to be like, you know, I want this type of movement from that rock to that rock. If I do this, it's like, dude, that's hard, and I'm restraining, so it's like, ooh, you almost just lining up a vertical bar to a vertical bar. Even though my crosshair is dipping down, it's kind of, or what I'm trying to say is, to get this movement to here, which I want to be the comfortable movement, but right now with the mouse sensitivity being crazy fast, how do I immediately get a sense of how much to adjust the mouse sensitivity on a bar? You can see the natural slant to make more distance have to be traveled in order to get to the... Here, I'll line it up with the... you can see the third spike on like the punch part of the knife handle guard. It's lined up with that wall to that rock. That's what I'm talking about, where it's like, oh, if somebody was on the other side of that rock versus the other side of that. It's like, oh, how do you get a reliable back and forth to just be like that rather than... Now, that's almost how far I want it to be. And I can see I'm compensating this much with a dip to not over travel as much. But again, this is entirely fingertips, and if I start using my wrist how I'd like, I'm all the way out there. So you can say, if I want to be this proportion of a bar, but I'm this proportion of a bar, you know that I'm nearly cutting it down by like 4/5 or something like that, maybe even 1, 2. Oh, I could have been counting by fire. That same wall that I was lining it up to, there's that fire. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're not quite evenly spaced, but it's fine because here it'll be a more refined thing. So I can be like, hey, from here to that, I'm almost getting here to that, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. Excuse me. So 5/8 roughly. Oop, right. 5/8. I don't know. I'm feeling like I can kind of much better. So that was literally. Just start with a guess. I can tell this is still a little fast, but only by a little touch. That's feeling alright, but now it's opening up wrist movement to try to add into corrections, which now is adding a whole other system or a chassis, so to speak, or axle or whatever, so to speak, of potential muscle corrections and mouse movements that are going to be adjusted, which is why adjusting your mouse sensitivity can come in stages naturally. So I can tell I'm still over traveling by. Now it's actually a little more significant of a jump than it was last time, because again I'm including a different system, or a different it's a musculature and chassis, so to speak. So I'm not trying to line it up at the tip of that dagger, but the color change from the white to the bronze, gold, whatever. Alright, so this was feeling pretty good. If anything, it's a tiny bit loose now. See what's up. Okay, so now I'm starting to feel like I can trace smaller things, but I'm over traveling. Where are we at? Oh, okay. So now I can feel that my pushing with my palm is starting to get recruited, which means a little bit of my arm, like forearm and triceps are getting involved to make maneuvers, and therefore the biceps also to counter-stabilize it. So this is starting to feel much more. Oh, there's still a little bit of hand muscle coordination that could be more synced. So let's go ahead and lower this. You can see it was like, oh well, how close was I to this adjustment in the beginning? It's like, well, you were only using your hand. We're now using the wrist and the forearm and the biceps and triceps, which means since you now have a larger hanging weight, so to speak, your arm in free floating space rather than braced like a bipod and only having wrist movements, that now makes it such that your actual torso is now having to counter stabilize your left to right movements, which means your hips are going to be getting involved too. Almost move around like a hula hoop in a horizontal kind of plane to stabilize the left to right actions. So this is feeling pretty good. I'm liking this. I feel like I can kind of trace this out now. And that kind of becomes at least my preferred vibe, because if anything, I think what I like the most about games now is just feeling like I'm surfing the visuals. So I don't really remember too much about this place. Alright, so I can tell my movement left to right is a little sluggish for how fast this character is able to move around. So the movement of the character has now become like another chassis, so to speak. And so while this feels really nice for aiming without movement, now the movement means, hey, I'm going to want to use some of my hand corrections to account for the muscle, or the movement calibration. So this up and down is just opening and closing my hand a little bit with connection to the keyboard, to the mouse still. So that way it's almost like making a fist, but with your mouse in the way, and it brings it forward until you're running into your palm, and your palm's not pushing forward. It's just the weight of it being braced against your forearm against the desk is enough to stop it. And then if you were to push up with your palm while still having tension on your fingers making that fist, it is like the stabilizing kind of vibe. So notice, hey, it's a little sluggish for how fast this character moves to correct for if I'm looking at a specific target. And it's like, well, if a single step takes me to here, and the correction movement that I made, I wanted it to be actually keeping on target. You know, I have that much distance, which means now, with account for this next chassis, I'm going to actually raise this up a tiny bit. Let's see what's up. What do we got? It feels too loose because I immediately started to over travel and overcompensated with. So maybe this. Let's give this a shot. How's that feeling? Better, much better. Alright, let's see how. I feel like that was just a little bit sluggish still. So what do we got? Are these guys ever gonna be willing to get drawn out? Yes was the answer. Oops. Oh right, because these free float. Right, I do actually like that where it's like, hey, it shows you like new players, so to speak, that might still just even have. I'm about to try to do something cheeky. What was it? I think. Oh, that didn't work at all, did it? I think there's a bash button. It's that. Okay. So, if you play like a careful tactical shooter kind of vibe, like take time and do little cheeky peeks and whatever, then it will work, but so where'd he go? He's right there. Right, I mean, you're a Space Marine. In terms of the just being able to tank some damage, I think they kind of partly try to show you that. So anyway, moving forward. Anything maybe a tiny bit sluggish, but I want to be able to nail those shots at nearly full speed. Because Space Marine vibe, I'll do a little bit of just kind of careful with that, but they have going to be I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it's just taking some rounds because it's rapid charge. Strategy at the moment is just kind of the velocity of the rounds. Be what determines the thickness. Alright, so moment of truth. How well, without the crosshair, does it feel like we got this online? It's feeling pretty good. Sluggish though. Well, we'll see. We've got some long distances ahead of us. That's feeling a little sluggish. Alright, this dude is right-handed. Let's see if it actually can. How tight of a shot can it make from the right side? Which probably means enemies are too. Which means... yeah. If I just hang out here, that'll stop them from spawning. So I think I got within a single point of the right mouse sensitivity. There we go, that feels nice. What was it basing on? Oh, I was matching up to stuff that's a closer distance. Even though I was moving, I did account for that. But I didn't fully account for that. Yeah, I like this one a lot more. Alright, here we go. Yeah, and then you can cross-reference with like, okay, well, how well can you track a, oh, okay, wouldn't have done that, did you? What are we looking for? Cool. So I could do a little bit of just like a... Seriously? I thought there was a whole... Wow. Oh yeah, I remember the battery. Okay. Batteries, whatever they're called. Batteries. Oh, right. So they really do have an awesome fit to natural hand movement geometry in this game. So it's like without even having to be super careful about following a line, it's already in line with fairly natural movements. Really, there would be stuff over here normally. It's just, oh, you get to save on processing demands and stuff. So yeah, I'll suppose play out more of the level, but this is solid representation of the process. And the movement's a little faster than I guess it was a pre-fire or something, but alright, so what am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Stick to the right side. Not a zoom. That's what that is. Yep. So I guess let's see if the quick tactical is good.